Overtime doesn't wait for anyone to settle in. It exposes you immediately. Golden State came out the way dominant teams always do, assertive, organized, confident that control would reassert itself. The ball moved quickly, shooters spaced the floor, defenders closed with purpose. This was their comfort zone. The Bulls answered with something less glamorous but far more dangerous: discipline. They didn't chase the Warriors' pace. They didn't try to outgun them. They matched possession for possession, forcing every shot to be earned. And Derrick Rose stayed calm inside the chaos. He didn't rush the offense. He didn't try to match Golden State's rhythm. He slowed everything down just enough to make the game uncomfortable. He waited for defenders to commit. He let screens breathe. He kept his dribble low and his eyes up. That patience mattered, because the Warriors thrive on momentum, on forcing teams into rush decisions, on turning hesitation into turnovers. Rose gave them none. Each trip down the floor became a test, not of athleticism, of nerve. The Bulls took the first punch in overtime and answered. Then they took another and answered again. No run lasted long enough to break the balance. And slowly, the Warriors began to feel it. Not fear, doubt. It showed in small ways: a defender shading a step too far, a closeout arriving half a second late, a pass thrown just a little higher than usual. That's when games swing. With under a minute left, the score still locked, the noise inside the arena changed. It wasn't excitement anymore, it was anticipation. Everyone understood what kind of moment this was becoming. The Bulls came out of a timeout with no theatrics, no rushed action, no complicated set. They put the ball in Derrick Rose's hands and cleared the floor. Golden State responded exactly how you'd expect. Klay Thompson took the assignment: balanced stance, active hands, no help coming early. They trusted their defense. Rose surveyed the floor, counted the seconds, felt the defender's weight shift. He didn't attack immediately. He let the clock shrink. The dribble stayed steady, low, controlled, each bounce deliberate, each step measured. Klay stayed with him, cutting off angles, forcing Rose toward the sideline. The help defender hovered, ready to collapse if Rose drove. This was the moment Golden State wanted: a contested shot, a difficult decision, a stop that would seal it. Rose made his move late. One hard dribble, a quick gather, a sudden step back. Not exaggerated, not rushed, just enough separation. Klay recovered instantly, hand up, body balanced, textbook defense. And still, it wasn't enough. The shot rose cleanly, high arc, calm release. For a split second, the arena went silent. Then the ball dropped. Not loudly, not dramatically, clean. That sound, net snapping, landed harder than a roar. The Warriors didn't argue. They didn't react. They stood still. Because sometimes the defense is right and the shot still wins. That's the part nobody prepares for.
What if I told you one of the most confident teams of the decade walked into a game already believing it was over and walked out stunned? Because in 2015, the Golden State Warriors weren't just winning games, they were overwhelming the league, nearly unbeatable. Every night felt like confirmation that they were inevitable. And that's what made this night dangerous. The Bulls weren't supposed to disrupt anything. Not the narrative, not the momentum, not the confidence of a team that barely lost. But basketball doesn't care about expectations. It only cares about moments and whether someone is willing to take them. From the opening tip, the Warriors played like a team used to control. Quick decisions, deep shooting range, defenders already closing out before the ball even left hands. The Bulls stayed close, but nobody mistook that for dominance. It felt temporary, like resistance before the tide turns. Derrick Rose moved differently that night. Not faster, not louder, more deliberate. This wasn't the MVP blur from years earlier. This was a player picking his spots carefully, conserving energy, understanding that against a team like Golden State, you don't win early, you wait. The Warriors ran their offense with confidence, bordering on certainty. They moved the ball like they expected the game to bend eventually. And most nights, it did. But the Bulls refused to let it break open. Every run Golden State made was answered, not with flair, with stubbornness, tough shots, controlled possessions, defensive stops that slowed the rhythm just enough to keep the game uncomfortable. By the halftime, the arena felt something unusual: tension. The Warriors weren't pulling away, and they knew it. As the second half unfolded, the game tightened instead of opening up. Every possession began to matter. Every mistake echoed louder. This is where belief starts to shake. Golden State pushed pace, forced switches, let shooters fire freely, the kind of basketball that usually suffocates opponents. But the Bulls stayed present, and Derrick Rose stayed patient. He didn't force himself into the story. He let the game come to him. Read defenders, attacked when lanes appeared, pulled back when help arrived early. It was quiet control. And then, late in the fourth quarter, something happened that rarely happens to dominant teams. They started looking around. Not panicked, but uncertain. The score was tight. The crowd was alive. The game refused to resolve itself. When regulation ended with the score tied, the building didn't explode. It froze. Because overtime against a near-unbeatable team doesn't feel like opportunity. It feels like exposure. This is where teams either break or find something they didn't know they had. Golden State came out aggressive in overtime, confident, assertive, determined to reassert order. And the Bulls didn't flinch. Every stop mattered now. Every shot carried weight. And slowly, impossibly, the idea formed. This game is still theirs. And Derrick Rose felt it. Not as excitement, as responsibility. Because moments like this don't ask who you used to be. They ask who you are right now. And as the clock ticked down in overtime, the ball found Rose, not by design, but by trust. Golden State set its defense. Klay Thompson locked in, arms ready, feet set, the exact defender you want in that moment. The Warriors expected the stop. They expected the ending they'd seen all season. What they didn't expect was resistance. What they didn't expect was hesitation turning into space. And they definitely didn't expect the silence that followed.
The shot didn't end the game immediately. That's what made it heavier. Golden State still had time, still had belief, still had the habits of the team that almost never loses games like this. The Warriors came down the floor quickly, not panicked, but irritated. They had seen this movie too many times to fold now. The ball moved fast. A screen set high, a pass swung to the wing. The Bulls scrambled. This was the danger zone, the few seconds after a big shot when teams relaxed just enough to give it back, and Golden State lived in that window. A shot went up. It missed. The rebound bounced loose. Bodies collided. For a brief moment, everything felt chaotic again. And Derrick Rose didn't retreat to the corner or drift out of the play. He stayed involved. He tracked the ball. He positioned himself where the next decision would matter. The Bulls secured possession. That's when the clock became the enemy. Golden State fouled, quickly, aggressively, trying to reset the rhythm, trying to give themselves one more chance. Rose walked to the line. This wasn't the roar-filled free throw moment people imagine. It was quieter than that. The kind of quiet that forces a player to hear his own breathing. He bounced the ball. Once. Twice. No rush. This is where games against elite teams usually flip back. A missed free throw, a rushed decision, a crack. Derrick Rose didn't give them one. The shots went down. Golden State pushed again, another attempt, another miss, another rebound. And suddenly, it was clear. This wasn't slipping away from the Warriors. It was being taken. The buzzer sounded, and the reaction came late, like the building needed an extra second to process what had just happened. The Bulls hadn't just beaten Golden State, they had outlasted them. Rose turned toward the bench, expression steady, almost muted. No stare down, no celebration directed at anyone. Just acknowledgement. Because he knew what this meant. This wasn't a random win. This wasn't a hot shooting night. This was a near-undefeated team walking into overtime fully confident and walking out reminded that control in the NBA is never permanent. The Warriors left the floor quietly. No excuses, no dramatics. They had defended the right way. They had executed their system. And still, it wasn't enough. That's what made this night uncomfortable for them. Not the loss, the reminder that even the best teams can be solved, not by chaos, but by composure. And Derrick Rose had just delivered that message without raising his voice, without forcing the moment, without needing to be the fastest player on the floor. He didn't overpower the Warriors. He outfought them.
This win didn't explode across the league the way some upsets do. There were no arguments about officiating, no debates about effort, no excuses to lean on. Golden State walked off knowing exactly what happened. They ran their system, they trusted their defender, they did everything they usually do to close games, and still, they lost. That's what made this night linger, because when a dominant team loses while doing things the right way, the loss doesn't disappear with the next game. It sits. It forces reflection. For the Bulls, this wasn't about announcing themselves as contenders. It wasn't about changing the standings. It was about something smaller and somehow heavier. Proof. Proof that Derrick Rose could still decide games against the very best. Proof that even in a league evolving toward pace, spacing, and volume shooting, there was still room for patience and precision. This wasn't the Derrick Rose who overwhelmed defenses with speed. It was the Derrick Rose who understood time, who knew when to wait, when to pull back, when to take exactly what the defense allowed, and nothing more. That step back over Klay Thompson didn't symbolize dominance, it symbolized control. And control is what separates moments from memories. The Warriors would go on to keep winning, to dominate, to build something historic. This loss didn't derail them, but it reminded everyone of something easy to forget during great runs. No team is untouchable. No system is invincible. No ending is guaranteed. And for Derrick Rose, this night fit quietly into a different kind of narrative. Not a comeback story, not a redemption arc, a reminder that he didn't need to be the centerpiece of the league to matter. He didn't need to lead highlight reels to influence outcomes. He just needed the moment and the trust to take it. When people look back on this game, they might remember the score. They might remember the matchup, but the real significance lives elsewhere. In the silence after the shot, in the stillness of the Warriors' bench, in the calm way Rose walked away from it. Because some wins don't shout, they confirm. And on this night, against a near-unbeatable team, Derrick Rose confirmed something that had never really left, even if the league stopped saying it out loud. When the game slows down, when everything tightens, when the margin disappears, he's still there. And sometimes, that's enough.